A group of researchers are partying in Antarctica because they are about to face 6 months of polar night. To cope with material shortages, only 10 people can stay after the party ends. The rest need to go home on vacation. These 10 people each take their own responsibilities, continue to maintain the daily operation of the base. No one ever expected they are about to encounter a terrible disaster. Soon 6 months passed. John returned with the team as promised, only to find the snow in front of the door uncleared. He immediately had an ominous premonition and quickly called others to help. Everyone worked together to clear the snow, then forced the gate open with all their strength. At this time, heating and power inside have been cut off. There are obvious signs of fighting indoors, and bloodstains were also found. When walking deeper along the corridor, a colleague beside also found bullet holes on the wall. When they arrived at the commander's room, the man had already become a frozen corpse. There is an obvious stab wound on the neck. At this moment, the walkie-talkie told John to go to the shed. Then they saw one snowmobile burn down. Another also disappeared without a trace. Next to it lies a covered corpse. The corpse was burned beyond recognition. The doctor judged from body shape and skeleton it was a woman. This is the worst news for John, because his wife is also among the 10 people. He ordered everyone to search for information inside the base. To find the remaining 8 people, John led a team to the kitchen. At this moment, a sound came from the cabinet behind them. After opening the door, there was a terrified woman. She is Maggie, the base doctor. She seemed not yet recovered from the horror. John comforted her emotions carefully, afraid of stimulating her again. After regaining a little sanity, she fainted. Meanwhile, the search inside the base was completed. A total of 7 corpses were found. 2 more are still missing. John reported the situation to the border police, but they said they could not arrive until 48 hours later. During this period, they must keep the crime scene intact. After hanging up, he found the awake Maggie, wanting her to recall what happened and whether his wife Anika is still alive. Then Maggie began to recall. Everything started with 2 men fighting. No one knew what happened at first. After everyone pulled them apart, the fat man went to the infirmary. When Maggie asked about what happened, she found the fat man suffered from polar syndrome. He lost sense of time. The communications officer kept reminding him of the time, making him extremely irritable. Suddenly, the fat man stared at Maggie in a daze. Her face reminded him of someone. On the other side, the communications officer asked the Argentina base for the game score, but no one responded after several calls. Then the screen showed satellite signal lost. To figure out the situation, he had to go to the signal station for inspection. This scene was accidentally seen by the fat man. Soon it was mealtime. The commander asked if anyone had seen the communications officer, but everyone looked confused. To confirm his safety, the commander organized everyone to go out and search. Each person took charge of one side of the base. When the woman walked near the signal station, she found bloodstains on the ground. Immediately informed everyone via walkie-talkie. Soon several people rushed over after hearing the news. They followed the bloodstains forward. Under the beam of flashlights, a man was kneeling in the snow. The commander called out to the communications officer, but got no reply. When he approached and gently touched the man's shoulder, his head unexpectedly fell off. Everyone returned to the base with heavy hearts. They tried to contact the outside world, only to find all communications failed. Someone had deliberately cut the lines. The entire base was completely isolated from the outside world. Later, the doctor made a preliminary autopsy conclusion. No bleeding traces were found on the corpse, so it was determined the head was cut off after death. The fatal wound was caused by a blunt object hitting the back of the head. Such a wound could be made by anyone with a little strength. Everyone became a suspect. Soon the commander gathered everyone in the dining hall, told them what the doctor had discovered. However, no more clues could be found afterwards. At this moment, the fat man next to him began to suspect others, suspecting the black woman or the chef beside him. Unexpectedly, the other party bluntly accused him of being the murderer because he had just clashed with the communications officer. As they were about to fight again, the commander stepped forward to calm their anger. He refused to believe there was a murderer among the team. Instead, he thought outsiders had invaded. He told everyone to search around the base for traces of the intruder. Then everyone split up to search. When Maggie walked alone to the signal station, she spotted the sneaky fat man, so she turned off her flashlight, then stepped forward to check. At this moment, the fat man was squatting on the ground burying something. After he left, Maggie dug open the buried spot. She was shocked beyond words. Soon the others rushed over. It turned out what the fat man buried was the murder weapon, and he was the only one among 9 people who did not come. Everyone rushed back to the base quickly, only to find the door locked from the inside. Then the fat man walked to the door drunk, claiming he did not kill anyone, needing some time to calm down, but he did not realize everyone staying outside was feeling much colder. The fat man took a big sip of strong liquor, then slumped to the ground drunk. If they waited for him to sober up, everyone might have frozen to death already. The commander immediately arranged everyone to find an exit. The 3 youngest members of the team came to the generator exhaust vent to let their bodies pass through the pipeline. The black woman took off her thick down jacket, exposing her bare body to -40 degrees extreme cold. Then she trembled and entered the vent. She held her breath, tried her best to tense her muscles inward. She successfully dropped down in this way. People above immediately threw her clothes down.